Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Tea. I'm your girl, Alex Shipman, and joining me again for another TGIF and Shambong Friday, Miss Monty Bolanos. Hello, Monty.
Hey girl, it's Friday. I'm so excited that the weekend is
God.
here.
Honestly, I think this is a weekend that the entire United States needs at this point. We could all use a break to just enjoy each other and some time away from the election and everything else, right?
Yeah, it seems like it's been a busy and long week, and just I'm excited to kind of not have anything on my schedule that I have to do. It's like everything that I'm doing the next 2 days is because I want to. I'm glad there's nothing on my schedule.
100%. T-Tribe, if you're just joining us, of course, let us know in the chat where are you watching for the show from this morning. We love to hear it. Monty, we're going to get to it in a second, but I don't know if you saw that Bachelorette episode last night. I tell you that we watch some things in the evenings to get our mind off everything going on. This was so dramatic, I can't even begin to talk about it. It's crazy, right?
I know, but I loved the episode. I was so into it. Me and my girlfriend were so happy that it's wrapping up. Everything, we're going to get into it. But yeah, it was a good episode. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was very exciting.
Yes, 100%. Did you have anything else to tune into last night that something new you can share with us? Maybe we can binge this weekend?
No. I mean, I started earlier this week watching The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston, who I love. So I finally got on that ship, and I'm enjoying the show. A lot of people, it has mixed reviews. I'm loving it. Just like
McDonald's. Oh my gosh. Yes, I absolutely love The Morning Show. I mean, when it first came out, being in this industry, you can relate to a lot of things going on, and just stay tuned because it brings you drama and layers that you don't even know is coming. So get through the whole season, Monty, because you're going to love it.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Well, T-Tribe, let me just break down what we have on the show today because we are spilling all the tea today as we get ready to talk about last night's episode of The Bachelorette, which I just told you. Plus, Bryce Hall is clapping back at Ariana Grande's recent comments. Hailey Bieber is shutting down pregnancy rumors. Lamar Odom is getting hit on all sides, and Liam Payne is opening up about difficulties surrounding the pandemic for his family. We're also talking new music from Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, and the new album from Little Mix. We're also going to take you behind the Kar-Jenner gates, of course, with a resolution from Kylie and Kendall's huge blowout we spoke about earlier on the show. Also, Kylie Jenner is breaking 200 million followers on Instagram. I just can't even believe that this is something that someone can attain. It's incredible. And then, of course, our OMT story of the day, we're talking about Khloe's comments to Tristan in last night's episode and what they mean for the couple moving forward. So this is interesting, and we're going to speculate all about it. So stick around for that later on in the show, of course, because this is some good tea, right, Monty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a perfect tea for a Friday. It's good.
It's good. I want to shout out Celine. Good morning, Celine. Eric Jr. is joining us from Hawthorne, California. Let's see. Who else is coming this morning? Oh, no. You guys hear some static, but I hope we don't. Is there still static going on? It went away.
No,
Great.
I think it went away. Man. I think we're good.
Guys, as you know, this set comes from our living rooms. So anything you hear that is a technical difficulty, we will try and help you out and make sound better and look better. But unfortunately, sometimes it's out of our control. But I'm glad we fixed that. All right, Monty, let's get into it because I know we have a lot to talk about. First up, of course, is You Missed It, and these are all the stories you may have missed overnight. Don't worry, we handle all the trending tea for you. And first up, we are talking about this crazy episode and season of The Bachelorette. If you thought you were finally going to see some Bachelorette action with Miss New Tayshia Adams, think again. Last night's episode basically just wrapped up Claire's storyline and allowed everyone a chance to air their grievances, come to terms with the change, and prepare to move on. Some had more success than others. So to get it out of the way, Claire and Dale finally got together and Dale proposed. So happy ending, right? I mean, 3 episodes later, it's kind of nice. We got like the Spark Notes version of The Bachelorette. In a way, I kind of like it. You know what I mean? But the main takeaway from the episode was the state in which the other 16 contestants were left in. So when Chris Harrison let the guys know that the show is going to be restarting, he also asked if all of them wanted to continue on or if they had developed feelings for Claire that they could opt out. So this was kind of interesting. This has never been done before. Chris came in the room and he basically told the guys what was going on, that they were engaged, and then they had a choice whether to stay or leave. So each of the guys said they would stay, although clips from the teaser for next week's Monty show that there may still be some lingering feelings and some resentment that would affect how the rest of the season plays out. But we did get a little tease of Tayshia joining the show. Spoiler alert, it's a to be continued. So we don't get that much, but we do get her looking beautiful, what a dress she has on. And do you think it's fair, Monty, for her to enter into a situation like this? Is Tayshia sort of being set up to be the rebound girl this season? Or do you think she's going to win all the guys over?
Well, it's a good thing Tayshia seems like the coolest person. So if anyone's gonna win anyone over, it's Tayshia. You know what I mean? So that's the thing she's got going for her. She seems like such a fun, down-to-earth girl that I don't see how guys aren't going to like her. Is she put in a fair situation? No, not really. You know, who wants to come into a situation like that? Nobody. But this is really going to tell us a lot. Depending on how this moves forward, if we get in some new guys, like 1, 2, 3 new guys, this has been scripted from beginning to end, meaning they knew from the get-go that Claire liked Dale, and this was ABC's plan to make this the most exciting season yet. If there's no new guys, then maybe this wasn't as planned and scripted as I thought. But there's something about when Claire was talking and she was like, no, I never spoke to Dale before this. I didn't believe her. Before the season started, I was a fan of Claire's. I thought she was a little dramatic and a little too cuckoo from time to time. But this season, she just was so disingenuous, and it's starting to make sense to me that she's disingenuous because she's been lying. Because she did have a relationship prior to starting the show with Dale. Whether it was just on social media, there was something there. And now it's making sense as to why she's come off so not real to me. Because she's been lying to us. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen, because I think it's going to tell us a lot as to how much this was scripted and planned.
Yeah, no, I agree. We also get a little glimpse of a sit down, like a after the final rose type of situation with Chris Harrison, where that exact question is asked. Tell us the truth. You know, he says, kind of infers, you've been lying to us. So we may get more insight into whether or not they had a relationship before. Claire swears by it. Chris also reiterated that to the guys, that they did not have a relationship before. But listen, even I'm gonna get real crazy, girl crazy right now. I don't know about you, but I have seen someone on social media before and fully fell in lust. So I know that kind of experience where you see someone's social media, you see how they are. You know, with Instagram and going live and showing things on your story, you can learn a lot about a person through social media. It's scary how much you can learn. So maybe they didn't necessarily have an exchange through the DMs or, through like an actual conversation, but maybe she just strictly fell in love with how he looks. I mean, the guy is not bad on the eyes, and an attraction a physical attraction is part of falling in love. So I think that she wanted him to be the winner. Do you know what I mean? She kind of already chose him in her mind. She fit her box.
I'm going to disagree with you that I don't think this was just looking at some photos and thinking, oh, he's cute. There was more to it. I disagree with you, dude. Like, watching her, like, unravel the episode last night, when she was talking about him, I felt like she was lying. But then later on in the episode, when she's talking to Chris Harrison and talking about possibly getting engaged, I was like, okay, now she's telling the truth. This is real live time for her, where she's finally like, this is a real moment. Everything else, I feel like it was so fake because she was lying. She was pretending. And even the guys called her out. They're like, you didn't even want to talk to us. You would talk to me, but you weren't even there. They called her out. Like, it all really does make sense why she came off so fake. It's because she was putting on an act. It all makes sense. So I disagree with you, Alex. No, they spoke. There was DMs. There was messages. They may have never met. They spoke. Oh, your sound is gone, Alex. Your sound is gone, but it's okay. I can keep talking about, we can't hear you at all. I see your mouth moving, but we can't hear you at all. It's all right. Nope, nothing. Keep trying, but I can keep talking about Bachelorette while you figure it out because we still can't hear you. And she's gonna probably. There we go. She's back. She's action. So there she is.
Well, the only thing, Monsi, is she did admit to speaking to Blake before. So why not Dale then? She did it
because she likes Dale. That's why.
She didn't like Blake. Yeah. No, I agree. They had some sort of interaction, whatever we want to call it, before the show. We're going to learn more about it next week. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad it's over and we can move on with Tayshia. You know what I mean? Yes. As a viewer, this has been the weirdest Bachelorette experience to watch. It's not what we signed up for as a fan. We want to see a bunch of people competing and then we want to see a winner and we want to root for someone. And, as a fan, we're part of the experience too. And we're not getting that with Claire's season.
Yeah. This, honestly, they should have just wrapped up Claire's story in 2 episodes. Yeah. We should have had the first episode like we normally do, traditional, where we meet the 30 guys. And then the second episode should have been like the Cliff Notes, and you should have wrapped everything up, and we should have already been on Tayshia. This, to me, took too long. It was dragged out. It was not good for me. I would have handled it differently if I was a showrunner on ABC.
Yeah, let's talk about Tayshia, though, because a lot of people are saying that it's weird that the guys are staying on. And I agree, no girl wants someone else's girl's sloppy seconds. So this is going to be interesting to kind of see how they introduce the men. Will they introduce any other men? I go back and forth in this because I think that we do need new blood, but I also think that having that dynamic of a few new guys and some old guys will kind of make it weird. You know what I mean?
I get it. But this is very up Bachelorette ABC sleeve, where they try to give us something new. We're so used to the show. We know how it's supposed to go down. So this is totally like them to throw something in the wrench. Like, to throw a wrench in the mix. Like, this is just like them. Yeah.
Right. No, I completely agree. But yeah, at the end of the day, we know that she was checked out. She obviously wanted Dale to be the winner, and now we got it. So we can move on with Tayshia. I'm interested to see how this plays out. I hope it kind of works in her favor. I want to see Tayshia find love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And I think we will. Like, I'm telling, she's too cool. Like, how do you, if she doesn't find love, it's not going to be because of her. It's just going to be that she didn't find the right guy. But there's no way that she and some of these guys don't develop a nice relationship, because some of those guys seem cool. She seems cool. Like, there's no way that something good doesn't come out of this. Even if it's just like a small relationship, but she needs this. We all need the like the confirmation, the affirmation that we can be wanted, that we can be loved. So that's what we want. And I'm with you, like, go Tayshia. You know, like we just want her to find it.
Yeah, no, and she's awesome. And like you said, she's gonna win these guys over. She has the potential to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Totally. And like I said, if anyone can do it,
What's going on?
it's gonna be Tayshia. If it's anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Tayshia.
Right. Okay, let's move on to this next story about Bryce Hall. Because listen to this. We reported yesterday on Ariana Grande's recent criticism regarding celebrities and social media celebrities, specifically breaking quarantine and social distancing guidelines. Now, while Addison Rae and Ditsy D'Amelio seem to understand where Ariana was coming from, get this. TikToker Bryce Hall and Addison's new rekindled boo didn't appreciate the call out. So, while on the Hollywood Raw podcast, we all know the Hollywood Raw podcast because we had Dax and Adam on the show. So this is interesting. It's coming full circle. Bryce opened up about what he thought about Ariana's comments. He said, quote, "She's not wrong, but like unnecessary. Yeah, it's unnecessary to call out a specific group, especially when there's other people doing it. Because she knew that TikTokers have like a high audience. She knew a lot of people would agree because there's a lot of people that hate TikTokers especially. I mean, it was obviously like a marketing move and good for her, but like, she's not wrong." So Bryce really came for Ariana with that comment, basically saying that she, you know, what she said was for clout. So what do you think about Bryce's comments? Do you think he has a point, or is he out of line for even suggesting this?
I'm sorry. Who are you? Who? What are you saying, kid? No, like, here you are saying that Ariana's calling you out for marketing. What are you doing saying this? I just feel like you're being hypocritical here a little bit, sir. No, Ariana didn't even specifically say TikTokers. She just, in general, was talking about people being at Saddle Ranch. So if you took offense to that, maybe you should look at your choices. And I don't think you should have said that at all. Like, what are you talking? Ariana doesn't need clout. Ariana doesn't need to say that for marketing. She didn't. She just said what she felt. And she has been adamant about this pandemic. So it wasn't like this comment of hers was out of the blue. She has said things. On Halloween, she literally was like, "Don't go out, guys. Get dressed, take pictures, go back into your PJs and watch scary movies." She has been adamant about not going out during this pandemic. So like, no, dude, you should have never said that. You're talking about people saying things for clout. You're saying things for clout. Also, what is clout? No, I know what it is, but why is that such an important word lately?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's overused in today's age. Like, everyone's looking for clout. And like you said, in the chat is also saying, you know, Bryce is almost trying to get some clout through this response. I feel, here's what I'll say. I feel at the end of the day, his kind of response about marketing, yes, I think that Ariana is marketing the pandemic. You know what? She basically knows, she's a smart woman. She knows that Bryce has the ability to reach a large, or not just Bryce in general, okay? Let's take Bryce out of this. TikTokers in general have a large young following. The people that, you know, may not take this as seriously, Ariana wants to get to them. Do I think she's using them for clout? No, I think that she just is basically stating facts, like stay home, everyone, and also just acknowledging and being smart enough to realize that, hey, if I call out this specific group of people, maybe their young followers will listen as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I know that for some reason your sound is staticky again. I don't know why, but sometimes I can't hear you clearly, but I think it's weird. It comes and goes. It comes and goes, right? Yeah, it's still there. It just, yeah. And when you talk louder, it wants to come in harder.
Oh no, well, I'll talk lower. Sorry, guys. Well, let's move on to this next story about Hailey Bieber, because listen to this. Hailey Bieber is sick of the speculation and is only here for confirmations.
Nope, you're gone. Now there's no sound. What a day. Y'all, like, I don't know what it is. Technology, aliens, somebody is messing with us in this technology today. No, no, no. I mean, you look real cute as you're talking, Alex, but we can't hear you. But you look cute, girl. Like,
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
there you go. Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, all right. So Hailey Bieber is sick of this speculation, T-Tribe, and is only here for confirmation. So taking to her Instagram story, Hailey called out Us Weekly for apparently preparing a story that claims she was pregnant. Hailey decided to get ahead of the publication by dismissing the rumors before they even start. Hailey wrote, quote, "Since I know you guys were about to break your little story at Us Weekly, I'm not pregnant, so please stop writing false stories from your sources and focus on what's important, aka the election." So, Hailey has a history of disliking the media, especially the speculative gossip stories that have surrounded her and, of course, her husband, Justin Bieber. What do you make of Hailey calling out Us Weekly?
Yes, you go, girl. Like, if anyone is going to release anything about me that is not true or that I'm not ready to share, even if let's say it's true that she is pregnant, but she doesn't want to tell people yet. Yeah, man, you go, girl. I would shut down every story if I knew it was coming before it came out, especially if it's not true. And something so big. It's not like they're saying like, oh, Hailey got a new car. No, man, you're saying she's pregnant? That's not something to mess around with. So, yeah, go, Hailey. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, of course, take the control back from the media. I think that's super important. You know, as a human, celebrity or not in general, you should be able to control your narrative. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen a lot of times. I also don't think Hailey is pregnant. I don't think they should be having kids. I mean, who am I? But I think that they still have a lot of life to live. They're young. They just got married. Like, enjoy yourself. You know, I always have older family members, aunts, and you know, that have told me, don't have kids for 10 years, you know? And so I feel like I feel like that with Justin and Hailey, like they're not ready for that. So I don't even think it's true what she's talking about. So shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not something. Don't even start those rumors. People, like, why bring up a rumor of a child? Like, that's not a fun rumor, especially if they don't want it. If it's not something they're talking about, it's not a fun rumor to talk about if they don't want it. If they're talking about it and they're hinting, okay, but you know what I mean? Like, no, the good thing she did that, so it's not even a conversation.
Yeah. Brittany says, I knew there would be a story about her being pregnant after those pics with her and Stormy. Was she even drinking at the Halloween party, though? With a side face. That is a very, very good question. I don't know if she was drinking at the party, but again, don't think she's pregnant just yet.
Yeah. I lost my invitation to the party in the mail, so like I didn't make it, so I can't tell you if she was drinking.
I know. And Karina says, come on, the Biebers already said they weren't going to have kids till after concert tours. Yeah, Us Weekly's got to keep up with the Biebers. They already let you know. So that source has got to go.
Yeah.
But let's move on to this. 100%. Let's move on to this next news about Lamar Odom, who unfortunately and sadly has had a very rough week. After reporting yesterday on Lamar and Sabrina Parr calling off their engagement, we have some new tea to spill involving Lamar's other exes. So, posting to her Instagram stories yesterday, Lamar's ex and mother of his children, Liza Morales, shared a screenshot from one of Khloe Kardashian's famously cryptic Instagram story messages. So, Liza shared this, quote, "Be with people who are good for your soul." So, this all comes after Liza has been trying to call out Lamar for owing her college tuition money for their 18-year-old son, Lamar Odom Jr., to which Lamar hasn't publicly responded to. So, but it is interesting that Liza chose to connect all the exes by reposting Khloe's message on the same day that Sabrina called off the engagement. Do you think this all may be interconnected, Monsi, and to what actually, you know, made Sabrina call it off?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it would be really silly of us to think that there's something weird of the timing. this timing really is like, why did you do this on this day, connecting Khloe? It is super weird. So it's one of two things. Either it has something to do with it, it really is all connected, or this girl is capitalizing on a situation. This ex is capitalizing on his situation. And either one, it sucks. Either situation is not good. But yeah, like the timing, why would you? It's weird. It's weird. It's not good. So either she sucks because she's capitalizing on Lamar's, current situation, or it is all related.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting. It's also too on the nose for me. Like, I don't know, maybe Lamar's ex, Liza and Khloe have had conversations before, of course, when they got married. Maybe they are in a good place. I actually don't know too much about their relationship where she would share Khloe's post. I mean, that just seems weird to me because I don't think I would ever share a significant other's ex's post unless they have some friendship and, co-parenting involved. I don't know. Yeah, T-Tribe, let us know if you know kind of where Liza and Khloe stand in their relationship, because that alone just seems weird to me. Unfortunately, I do believe in the message. I mean, yes, be with people who are good for your soul, but it does, I mean, if you're just kind of putting all the pieces together, it does kind of show a little shade if it's all connected. But I also think that Liza is dealing with her own issues, as we mentioned, with Lamar. So it may have nothing to do with what Sabrina's going through. Same man, different issue,
Right.
Crazy. All right.
You took the word, I was going to say it, crazy, and you took it out of my brain before I could say it. But I literally was going to use that word.
I know, it's all nuts. But let's move on to another kind of crazy story. As the UK and much of the world prepares to go into lockdown again in response to increasing COVID-19 numbers, Liam Payne opened up about the difficulties the pandemic is challenging him with. So Liam opened up about how he has decided to take some time away from his 3-year-old son, Bear, while the lockdown persists. So the decision was agreed upon by Bear's mother, Cheryl, Liam's ex, for the child's well-being. Liam has opened up this year already regarding how difficult it has been to spend more time away from Bear due to the pandemic. He was actually unable to attend Bear's 3rd birthday party because of lockdown. So Liam spoke to Tings magazine about the time apart, saying, quote, "Lockdown, it's the longest I haven't seen him, Bear, in his life. But we discussed from the start, and for different reasons, me and Cheryl decided I should be away for a little bit. It's not unusual for me to be in and out of his life. He's a quiet and chill child. He doesn't worry about things too much. This is obviously rough for a couple of reasons. Even without a dangerous pandemic rocking the world, having split parents is difficult enough as it is. Hopefully there will be some time soon for Liam and his son to spend more quality time together." What do you think of these revelations, Monty? How has the pandemic affected, your ability and T-Tribe to see friends and family? I know we've spoke about this on the show before, but I also want to bring up before we get into it, there is another layer to this story in that Liam also decided to be sober and take time away from partying. So another reason besides the lockdown that this article mentioned, that him and Cheryl had agreed that he had been exposed, he had been out, going out and partying lifestyle to too many people, that they also didn't want him to expose the child to the virus if in fact he received any of the symptoms. So there's a lot going on here. Monty, how do you feel about all of this?
There's a lot going on, like you said. There's a lot of layers. But honestly, out of everything right now, the one thing that stands out to me is him saying that his child is chill and quiet. And my experience with kids, I don't have kids, as we know, but I have friends that have kids ages from 2 months to 7 years old. Like, that's the kids I have in my life. And they are very intuitive. They are intuitive. They're listening. They're paying attention. They're like a sponge. And I don't like that he said that for his sake. Like, it's like, no, dude, like, that's not the right mentality for you to have for your kid, because he's paying attention. He might not say anything to you, but he's paying attention and he's being affected by all of this. So you thinking that he thinks it's normal for you to be in and out of his life, no, he's just a kid and he doesn't know how to probably express himself the right way. So that's really like the main take I took. But like you said, there's so many layers to it. It's not that he doesn't want to be there. There's other things happening. The pandemic is not an easy situation to deal with, but I hope that he kind of just adjusts his thought on how his kid is handling it, because that's not good.
I agree. 3 years old is, while it's young, they still have some sort of memories. And at the end of the day, this child needs his father. So I understand kind of being precautious and following the guidelines and all of that. But besides that, I think Liam should, I don't understand necessarily taking time away from your son. You know what I mean? I don't really get that unless you're dealing with something yourself. You need that time for your own kind of mental health or whatever. But I also think that he's got to spend time with his son. They have to figure it out. They have to figure out some sort of co-parenting schedule. Because like you said, kids are intuitive. He will catch on.
Yeah. I hate to tell you again, Alex, but the static seems to be wanting to come back. And when it gets in full force, it's like tough.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep. We hear you, but the static is, for some reason, and it was perfect. And then it just started slowly creeping in. Just coming in, slithering slowly. I hear you, but there's still static.
Still static? Oh, no. Yeah. Oh.
But, yeah, I mean, like, it's, like you said, like, let's just, it's hard for us to understand, for anyone to say that they're going to take time away and that it's a mutual decision. And it's really, like, it's tough to hear that and to try and be in his shoes and understand what he's going through. But it seems like a really sad situation for all three involved, both parents and the kid. We can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you. But you look cute though. So keep, smiling and like, still can't hear you. Yeah, keep doing that. It's good. Yeah, you get, exactly. Yeah. Oh, she's singing, you guys, because she knows we can't hear her. That's why she's singing, or else she would not be singing. Let's see. Nope. No sound yet.
Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. She's back in action.
I'm back in action. You know who else is back in action, Monty?
Oh.
Miley Cyrus and Stevie Nicks for this next story. Miley Cyrus has just upgraded her single, Midnight Sky, in the most incredible way. Miley originally sampled Stevie Nicks' classic song, Edge of 17, for the new single, but released yesterday, Miley and Stevie Nicks herself have teamed up to release a mashup of both songs. So Miley has been diving deep into rock history recently in anticipation of her November 27th release of her next studio album, Plastic Hearts. What did you think of this new mashup, Monty?
I loved it. I think it even made the song better. I really, really enjoyed the mashup, and I'm super excited to see what else is going to be on Miley's album. Like, her voice in this album, this like rocker thing she's kind of going for, it's really working for me. And I'm telling you, like, that mashup was great. I loved it.
I mean, I agree. I liked Midnight Sky. It wasn't my favorite Miley song, but I think this new edition and remix of Stevie Nicks, it's a little bit more upbeat. They added new sounds into it. I don't know exactly how to refer to those sounds. I just know it's good and I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Flattered the song. Yeah, like what they added really flattered the sound it already had. Like, it really did make it better. It was weird, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this album. I've always spoken about Miley kind of transitioning into this rock. We all know she has that kind of raspy voice, and many, many critics that have spoken about her wanted her to sing more, songs that had this type of rock vibe. So I'm interested to see it. I'm also kind of interested to experience this new chapter for Miley. Like, what kind of relationships will be brought into this new chapter with Miley? Will her clothing change? You know, like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I exactly, like Miley has done so many different, chapters in her life. She's gone through so many things and changes in her style that I'm looking forward to this one to see what else we're gonna get from her. And I really do think that this rock sound is where she might stay for a bit, and I'm good with that.
I know. If you could pair Miley Cyrus, oh my God, English, with a celebrity right now, who would you want to see Miley date?
Oh, who would I want to see Miley date? That's a tough one.
I know.
You have
on the spot a little bit.
You gotta find a dude. You gotta find somebody, anybody, not just a dude. I said dude in my head, but you gotta find somebody that is really, really confident in themselves and likes somebody that is so confident also in herself.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
You have to be really comfortable in your skin, and you have to be comfortable with how comfortable she is in her skin. That's a 100%. Tough person.
That's exactly. Yeah. You just to echo what you said, you have to be comfortable, and you got to let Miley be Miley, because Miley's always going to be Miley. And so you can't take that away from her. And I think that is a perfect example of who should be with Miley. T-Tribe, let us know. Who do you think? Oh, Alina says MGK. That's an interesting relationship. I don't know. But of course, he's very much in love with Megan Fox, as we know. Who else? Oh, yeah. They're still talking about all of Miley's covers, and Dolly Parton is Miley's godmother. Guys, I told you I watched the Dolly biopic on Netflix. Must see. Dolly is just a cool chick. I mean, I know it sounds funny when I say that, but I'm telling you, you'll learn a lot about her. And if you love country music, of course. But you don't have to just love country music, because if you just love a confident woman that's talented, check it out. All right. Well, let's move on to this next song, because something that didn't, I don't know, necessarily change so much. Monsi, Justin Bieber and J Balvin released their remix to 24 Golden and Ian Doer's hit Mood last night. And it is a banger. I mean, there is additions. There's Spanish, like we talked about. The new take on the song also came out with an animated lyrics video, turning all of the collaborators into an 8-minute 8-bit video game characters scrolling across the screen. So it's kind of that old school video game. This song has become a huge hit, especially with its popularity on apps such as TikTok. I mean, people love this on TikTok. What did you think of Justin and J Balvin's verses on the remix?
The song was already great. You know what I mean? And I listened to the remix, I put it on, and I was like, oh, it's the same song. Great. Yeah. It's the exact same song with a Spanish verse in it. All right.
Totally.
So, the song was already great. So I guess it's still just great. Like, we were wondering how this remix was going to be yesterday. We were like, will it be a crazy remix, or is it going to be just the same song, slightly different? And that's what they went with. But the song is the same. I mean, like, I already added it to my playlist, so it's not that I'm hating on it. It's just the same with a little Spanish in it. Great.
I know. Why not? Yeah, I wish it gave us kind of that much more that we wanted. It's pretty, it flows right into Justin's verse and J Balvin's, but there's not enough of a different dynamic for me to see it as a full remix. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool with the Spanish verses, but Justin's portion of it, he says something funny. One of the lyrics says, I know at times I can have a couple screws loose. And then he says, I'm trying to connect to your body like it's Bluetooth. Like, Justin's lines were really funny. And then I also like that it's just like, how do you, I guess anything can be a remix. If just you add one different verse, is it called a remix? Do you know that answer?
Yeah.
If we just add one switch up.
I don't know if changing one lyric, adding a verse makes it a remix. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess so. I mean, technically it is another song. Maybe they should have said, we are releasing a different version of the song. Maybe that's what they should have said and not said remix. Because it's the same song.
Adjusted version.
Also, the static is back as you're
wonderful.
Talking. Just so you know, and it's like kicking up. It's just, you know, it's a remix. You guys, that's what this is for us today.
This is actually
static is
the remix
of the morning tea. So clearly it's not working out. We know to not add the remix for the future. So, but yeah, it's
too bad. Too bad, you know? Well, let's move on to this next news. You know, static or not, this is the remix. And Little Mix drops their album, Confetti.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt. It's pretty bad. I don't know if you can unplug it and plug it in like you did, just because it's to the point where I don't know if we're going to hear you clearly. That's why. Just, it was coming in a bit hot, like a wrecking ball. Just, and I don't want people to not hear your clear, beautiful voice. Well, we can't hear you at all. Not yet. So, dude, yeah, there she goes, guys. She's singing. She's singing because she knows we can't hear her. She's trying, but we still can't hear you. But we are going to get into the Little Mix CD, y'all, that just dropped as soon as Alex's mic gets a little bit better, because I want to make sure you hear what she says, because it's not something to mess with, right, girl?
Hello.
Right? Yeah, there you are, nice and clear. Tell us more about Little Mix and this album, girl.
Okay, so let's talk about this album, because this is Little Mix's first post-Simon Cowell album after their split, of course, in 2019 with Simon and his company, Psycho, which wasn't necessarily amicable. So Cowell took to the tabloids, basically saying this: why do artists think they're more important than staff members? They're not. So obviously there was, you know, some stuff going on. Confetti also has a single on it called Not a Pop Song, with lyrics such as, I don't do what Simon says, be a puppet on a string, works for you but not for me. So Little Mix also proceeded to launch their own TV talent show, The Search, a direct competitor to Simon's X Factor. Now, a lot of critics are saying that the problem with Confetti is that it isn't particularly different from what they did when they were, as Not a Pop Song puts it, a hamster on a wheel. It's a well-done pop album, but not this new unleashed state of Little Mix. Now, we've spoken before about Little Mix and their current impact on kind of the US market and kind of diving into that. Do you think that this album has the potential to bring them success in the States? Is Little Mix being slept on, or are they destined only to be popular back, you know, in the UK?
You know, it's weird. Why? Whoa, that echoed. I echoed on that, and that was interesting. Sorry, I heard myself echo. I don't know if you guys heard that. It's weird why they haven't progressed here in the US. It is a weird thing, and I feel like they haven't, and they're probably not at this point. It's this album, right. Some of the songs were real fun, but kind of like what you said, they're not that different. It's not a new sound to us, and they're not bringing anything necessarily that makes them stand out. I'm not saying they're not good. Right. They're fun. They're cute girls, and they're a fun girl band. I like some of their songs for sure. Some of their songs on this album I really enjoyed, but I just think that they're not going to make it because they would have already here in the US. They would have already been trending. For some reason, it didn't work out for them. I don't know. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but that happens. It happens with artists all the time, that you try to cross promote them somewhere else and it just does not work.
Brittany says, I love them so much. I think that confetti is going to bring them on the map. So Brittany is saying that this is the album that will kind of, transition them into mainstream, into the US. She said Sweet Melody is a bop, one of their singles on the album. Listen, the album is good. I liked it. I absolutely love those girls. They deserve success. I hope to see it. I hope that they kind of break over. But again, they also are doing very well in the UK and successful in their own right. So they're good. But like we said, Confetti is still a very well done, great album, putting them all on my playlist. And so I appreciate it in general. And good for them, moving on to this new chapter that didn't work for them, their old life that didn't necessarily work for them. And now they found, new life.
And I would love for them to make it and reach a level here. I'm not against it. I find it weird that it hasn't happened, and that's why I don't think it's going to happen. It would have happened already. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, well, let's get to our car Jenner tea time because we got to get into those gates. Hop over. Beep, beep. We're here because after a few weeks of drama on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kylie and Kendall finally hashed it all out on last night's episode. T-Tribe, if you didn't check it out, don't worry. We're going to break it down for you because admitting that the sisters hadn't spoken in nearly 2 months prior to the events on the show, Kendall and Kylie are more or less forced to confront each other. So the easing of tensions come out of a FaceTime call Kendall has with Kim during the show. Kendall speaks to how she has actually tried to reach out to Kylie, but that Kylie ignored her calls. As Kendall is speaking to Kim, Kylie calls Kendall, and Kylie says, quote, I just wanted to say that I think the other night just got completely out of control, and I feel like I was just confused on my part because we never spoke about me taking you home until it was like the very last minute, so I think it was just like the miscommunication. And obviously, I would never do anything to hurt you. It was just crazy, and it shouldn't have ever gotten to that point. So Kendall agrees with Kylie and seems to be relieved that both of them are moving forward. Kendall even admits in a confessional on the show, saying, quote, Kylie and I have never gone this long without speaking. Usually we speak almost every day, so now I'm just ready for it to be over. Sisters are sisters. We can fight all we want and say crazy things to each other, but at the end of the day, we're family, and we just love each other so much. So the episode ends with the sisters having resolved their conflict. Do you think this needed to go on as long as it did, Monsi and T-Tribe? Or would you say that the pandemic, which hits as this feud was raging, escalated the tensions, possibly?
For sure. I think the pandemic and the situation didn't help their fight and their situation. And yeah, of course it didn't need to go that long. But I think that happens in friendships and families. I think sometimes, we fight and both people are standing their ground. And I think that's very normal. But this shouldn't have happened because there was alcohol involved. And so usually there's alcohol involved. That party, like the next day or two, even the next week, they're like, oh man, I was drinking. I didn't realize what I was saying. In fact, I remember something differently. So this should not have happened. And maybe there was more to the apology that they didn't show us in the show. But I love Kylie. I'm Team Kylie. I wish she would have owned up to it a little bit more than she did. Because her and Corey were drinking and Kendall was sober. And so I just wish maybe she did and they didn't show it to us. Hopefully she did take a little bit more of the responsibility. Because it kind of was on Kylie. Like she said, I just didn't know I was going to take you home. Okay, girl, you still blew up about taking your sister home. Like still not okay, even if you weren't prepared for that. But again, alcohol is involved. She reacts differently. I get it. I just wish she would have said a little bit more. And maybe she did. They just didn't show us.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that when alcohol is involved, of course, things, get to another level that they may not should have. Kylie the next day, should have just, nipped it in the butt. For them to not speak for months at a time was probably a huge, difficult thing to go through. I mean, this family is super close. Kendall and Kylie specifically are very, very close. And I can imagine not speaking to my sibling for a month. You know what I mean? I just don't see that. Why I think it happened, though, I think that Kendall was really upset that Kylie defended Corey in this. I think that the Corey part of the story, him inserting himself, and Kendall claimed he said F you to her. I think Kylie's defense of Corey really upset her because she's like, hey, girl, blood's thicker than water. Your loyalty should be with me. So that's why I actually think it kind of went that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. It wasn't just two sisters fighting. There was another person involved in the argument that didn't help the situation at all. So I agree with you. And Alex, we're going to cheers because in the chat, they're telling us not to forget. So we're going to cheers now.
Yes. Cheers to the two girls. Cheers to Kylie and Kendall making up because we don't want to see two sisters fighting. Cheers.
Cheers, but you're 100% right. This wasn't a normal sister fight. There was another big factor involved, and it definitely made it worse. And we saw in 2 episodes ago when Kendall tried to speak to Corey, and that conversation didn't go well. So yeah, if this would have just been two sisters fighting, one sister didn't want to take the other sister home, this would have been over the next day. You know what I mean? Kendall would have been like, you suck. Okay, well, I'm sorry. And it would have been over. This was just other people were involved that made it worse. So you're right. You're right, girl.
Yes, exactly. But something that is not over the next day is Kylie Jenner's social media profile because she is cementing her lead in the Kar-Jenner family rat race for Instagram followers. So announced yesterday, Kylie has officially breached the 200 million follower mark on Instagram, making her the most popular of all the Kar-Jenner family. I know, Monsi, it is unbelievable. This places her among top stars on Instagram, such as soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo, who has 241 million, Ariana Grande, who has 205 million, and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, who has 202 million. So big sister Kim is the next highest in followers of the family with 191 million, followed by Kendall at 141 million, Khloe at 122 million, and Courtney at 103 million. So why do you think that Kylie has such a, ravenous fan base, and how long do you think it will take competitive Miss Kim Kardashian to catch up?
I just had to sip because I can't wrap my head around 200 million followers.
I know. T-Tribe, do you know how hard it is to get followers? Like, that's what you guys, I reiterate all the time. However you feel about the Kardashians, you have to admire the fact that they have attained this many people to care about what they're talking about on their platform. You know what I mean? Like, they sell. Right, Monsi?
Yeah, like, Alex, we are doing something wrong, y'all. We are all doing something wrong when Kylie has 200 million followers.
Right.
I'm just going to, Alex, I'm just going to take.
Monty, I have to tell you a funny story because I know you watched the episode of Kim on David Letterman, the Netflix special, and there's a point in this episode where she says, David, I hope I'm not offending you, but when I told Kylie and Kendall I was coming on the show, they asked me who David Letterman was. And I thought it was so funny. She said, when I grew up, through all of this, like if I wanted to promote a product or a line, I had to go on the David Letterman or the Jay Leno show. They had to go on a talk show to promote something. Now, she goes, my sisters, they've used their social media to promote any product they have, which is why, of course, with Kylie Cosmetics, Kylie has reached this level of Instagram fame. Yeah. I mean, she has products to back. like we said, she's a businesswoman. It makes sense, but 200 million followers is nuts.
Nuts. But yes, it's so funny to hear Kim say that, and you know, to really see two different groups of sisters grow up in the world of fame in very different ways and utilize social media differently. But yeah, I mean, Kylie is a businesswoman. She's got so many products, so many things out there, and people really like her stuff. Like, I refuse to give her money because she doesn't need any more, but her stuff has really good reviews. Like, I have like certain things in a cart that belong to her, to Kylie Skin, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give Kylie more money. But it's in my cart. It's there. It's there. The reviews are great. And I love Kylie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm team Kylie. But I just am like, no, I'm not going to give you more money. But they love her stuff. And I'm just like, she's doing it right. She's doing it right. We're doing something wrong, though, Alex. Like,
exactly. We're doing something wrong. The thing that was wrong, Monsi, is we were not born in the Kar-Jenner family. We are not. That's what we're doing wrong. Is we, unfortunately, you know, and I know both you and I grew up in a very loving and supportive family, I hope. And I mean, I know as long, but I'm just saying, in general, that's where we made a mistake. In another life, we'll come back.
We're, as Kris Jenner's dogs. We're already coming back. We're going to come back better than ever. I'm going to be chilling. I'm just going to be chilling on her couch, getting belly rubs and getting snacks. That's the life.
Yes, the life. All right, well, let's move on to our OMT story of the day because it is getting that time in the show, and we have to talk about another, you know, part of last night's episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So Kylie and Kendall weren't the only interesting thing to happen on the show last night. After last week's reveal that Khloe had contracted the coronavirus, we see her life in quarantine and how Tristan has played his part during Khloe's illness. As the days go on, Khloe finally is able to get a negative test back. Joking around with her when she found out, Tristan said, quote, "Aw, you look like the smart girl. I'm going to cheat off on the test." So let me just explain this a little bit more. So Khloe, of course, was quarantining, and she made out of a massage pillow, she put glasses on and hair and kind of made her a little quarantine friend. So when she got the negative test back, Tristan asked where that friend was and why she wasn't wearing the glasses. So she said, again, let me repeat. He said, "Aw, you look like the smart girl. I'm going to cheat off on the test." So Khloe decided to throw some subtle shade with her response to that, though, saying, "Thank God you said on a test." So this made many fans connect the comment to, of course, the infamous cheating scandal between the couple. Do you think that Khloe was too quick to make a joke about this topic? Whether or not Khloe and Tristan have become comfortable enough to joke around with each other about this, should they have allowed the fans watching to become at ease with their relationship by addressing the cheating concerns together more directly before joking around like this? How do you feel about this, Monsi?
It's very Khloe to do this. She wants to make the joke before you make the joke. She has done this before. We'll do it again. So it's very Khloe. I don't know if she did it to for the fans, because we have to remember the timeline that this didn't just happen. This happened sometime March, maybe April, when they weren't technically back together. And so it is interesting that she just thought it was funny and that we've moved on. And it's just like, she probably did it just so that fans don't say something first. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have done it. I would not have said that. I would not have been over it. You know what I mean? If he would have said something like that, I would have. What did you say? Okay, yeah. You did say test.
I know.
Exactly.
So I understand kind of that relationship where, you know, you kind of joke about even, you know, the problems, the good, the bad. I understand that sarcastic humor that Khloe has. However, this isn't a joke. This is something that we've all gone through, even as fans. And at the end of the day, we're still on Khloe's side. You know what I mean? A lot of fans don't necessarily want her to be with Tristan, think she deserves better. So for her to kind of joke about that, I get what she was doing. I understand her self-deprecating humor. However, I don't know if we're ready for that. I think that addressing it in an honest, open conversation before we're just kind of making a joke about it, as a fan, you're like, wait, I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I feel like, again, I just want to make a point. We're not in the relationship with Khloe and Tristan. Khloe may be there. Khloe may have moved on. But as a viewer of the show, we're still hesitant. You know what I mean? And we need a little bit more time.
Yes, for sure. 100%. It did seem a little too quick, a little too like, oh, you're already over it. This is, like the timing just seems a little off. And you're right. It's because we're seeing it as a fan. Maybe she was there, but for us, it's just going to be a little bit like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. I like how you said that. We're not there yet. Yeah.
No. And we're just looking out for Khloe. At the end of the day, it's for our girl Khloe. So on that note, Monty, that is all the tea we have to spill today. Cheers again to our Shambong Friday. What a great show. So much fun. Hope everyone has a wonderful and fun but safe weekend. We'll be back on Monday, same time, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, to bring you the morning tea of the weekend. And Monty, if they want another dose of you after the show, where can they find you?
Yeah, guys, you can find me and help me reach 200 million followers, just like Kylie, by following me at Monty Bolanos. You can see my name right here. You guys have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love chatting with you. Alex, where can they find you, girl?
You can find me on all social media platforms, just like my name, at Alex Schiffman. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Like Monty said, get us to 200 million followers so we can be just like Kylie. If you're an after sipper, share your thoughts in the comments on all the tea we had to spill today. And on that note, Monty, it is time to wash our hands clean. Everyone have a great weekend and stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye, Tea Tribe.